ex-representative of them here. They have a great framework where you come, you ask for a we can assist you with training to help you set up your business, how to I think we as government too have to make that into a holistic, huge platform and support the small businesses, put some funds aside and continue that mantra because everyone wants to be an entrepreneur. Some people understand the reluctance from the banks saying that, should I give this person, and do they know how to manage these funds? How am I so sure? Let us be that glue, let us be the provide the resources, assist them, and once you know that they're certified, and once you know that we've armed them with that information, then hopefully could give the banks a semblance of, okay, good, I can help the businesses as well. So it's in consideration and bring it together holistically. Everyone is there, but we need to bring it together and pull it together.
Ms. Kohinoor?
Yes, the banks are going to digital transformation. I mean, some are further away than others in the process, but if you see that for all clients is available to online onboard as a client of the bank, open an account, online loan applications is also possible, and linking and partnering with companies like Send2 and CXPay, etc., to make sure we have the customers or the merchants or the businesses, entrepreneurs has the access and can accept payment through the central bank. What Glancher mentioned, what helped a lot is the instant payment. Can be used also as a tool, but it's Dutch Caribbean, what we call Dutch Caribbean. Now we have to think cross-border and make that easier. And for the banks doing business with, to allow cross-border, it's international transfers, it's through correspondent bank. And we want to see how we can make that faster, efficient, quicker. The only way, well, it's hampered by the fact that compliance, AML, AFT, so anti-money laundering, fraud and terrorist financing compliance rules that hampers it. It's also straight-through processing. It's about making sure the detail in your description, even now, description of what the payment is about cannot be invoice numbered. It needs to be fully documented. Otherwise, the transaction won't go through. It delays the process. So those are the things. And the bank is willing to take calculated risk and look into how we can help, definitely. But it's a matter of giving the information and knowledge to the entrepreneur to understand what they also need in order to do the business. So, and work with fintech, government, and all stakeholders so we can do a better product.
Okay, we have about 5 more minutes. So what I will do is I will also lean in on your question, Ms. Brandon, because I happen to know a little bit about the small business community with the other hat as Islandpreneur. And to the point of the minister and everyone here, the ecosystem is really, really important to be able to do that service basket. So if we can imagine 4 years ago, we didn't have credits. Well, credits came in about 2016, 2017, so 2018. So if we go back a little bit further, 7 years ago, around Irma, there was no credits. There was no small business academy. There was no entrepreneurship development plan or project. There was no Maarten Entrepreneurship Development Center. I mean, we were doing different things from Power Agency, but the brand Islandpreneur came out stronger in 2020. So the entire ecosystem, because I've been in the game since I got back 2014, the entire ecosystem literally is about 5-6 years old. And so from that perspective, there's a lot that still needs to be done, but it's still young. And also, key stakeholders are now realizing the importance. And from that perspective, we have more buy-in as well. I don't understand that as a small business, you get all of these extra fuel clauses on water and all of these other things that happen. And those are things that we have to address in different ways. Yes, Ms. Brandon. There's a mic behind of you.
I thought thought my voice was powerful enough.
The online community doesn't hear you.
Oh, online community, here it comes. I have one thing to add. Your ecosystem is on point, but that ecosystem also comes with a change mindset.
That's right.
And I'm going to look at the banks right now, and I'm not jumping on you.
They feel
But
attacked, you know, Ms.
No.
Brandon.
They don't hear from us enough.
It's true.
Because we only come to you when we want money, then we sign our lives away, and then when we can't pay you, then you come after us. But I would like a change in the approach of banks. You will give somebody a $30,000 car loan, okay? But somebody who wants to start a business and ask you for $15,000 is not getting it. Okay? We have young people who will have debt because of a fancy car, and they will not, yes, I'm from St. Maarten, they will not even be able to purchase a home. So there has to be a different mindset within the banks. Sunil, yes. No, that's just a joke. He's my banker. There has to be a different mindset altogether. We are having car shows maybe every 3 months, okay?
There's a car show next week.
Car shows every 3 months, and these loan giveaways, etc. Every household in St. Maarten has at least 3.5 cars. Okay? It took most of you maybe an hour and a half to get here because of traffic. Our roads can't handle it, our network can't handle it, and it affects business. People come to work late, people come to work tired, harassed, etc. So there needs to be a change. What are we going to give to these people? What is the return? The return on a car loan is only for the bank, because the value of the car decreases the moment you drive off that lot. Investing in a business means longevity. They're going to come back to you. You're going to have a relationship. That relationship is going to grow. That interest that you're going to make on that business is for a longer period of time than a car that devaluates, then you can't find it, you can't impound it, the people ain't paying. It's a bigger problem. So please, have that change mindset that we can have those who really want to start a business to be able to get funding instead of giving them a new car. Let them buy a bicycle.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Ms. Brandon. We also have, yes, give her a big round of applause. I see that we also have Ms. Diane.
Thank you so much. I will be short.
From the St. Maarten Entrepreneurship Development Center.
Correct. And I thank the minister for being modest, but in reality, the St. Maarten Entrepreneurship Development Center, it's a foundation that is totally endorsed by government. So although she spoke about putting certain things in place, that trajectory has already started. Because we can talk about finance, and I am 100% agreeing with my colleague here, Peggy Ann, because we're not going to be doing it by ourselves. The St. Maarten Entrepreneurship Development Center is about pulling the chambers and the islandpreneurs, all of them together to go and put our face in the same direction. However, I do agree that always we speak about finance as a small business myself. Oftentimes it's not only finance we need, but what was also brought out here, we need to be trained, we need to be educated, and we need to be, informed about what benefits that there are already. Of course, we all know the challenges, but sometimes we have to start somewhere, and as we build, we pull it all together. So I am also calling on all my friends, Peggy, Ife, let us put our shoulders under the weight of a small business. Most of us are small businesses. We are small businesses when we represent small businesses because we do understand the challenge better. So the St. Maarten Entrepreneurship Development Center, I must say, It's not a first initiative from government. Government
Yeah.
have always made sure that there's an infrastructure for small businesses, but even those type of organizations, we also have to change the mindset
That's right.
as to why we are there. We are not just there to sit in a nice office. We are there to find solutions for the small businesses, financial, education, training, and all the such. So, of course, this is very important. That's why the SCDC is here today, because small businesses can only grow if we facilitate also how they can make payments or how they can receive their income in a more innovative way.
Yes, thank you so much. I see David and Mark, and I see Mackie. Now, guys, quick question. Everyone in the room. It's after 12:30, we have lunch. So I'm gonna have Mackie be the last person after a quick 20-second comment from you, David, and then another comment from Mark. Thank you so much.
Collaboration. In Dutch we say ikke karre and the rest kan stikken. We need to stop that and we need to collaborate and help. That's already a big change. The second is, it is true, I mean, that you see the central bank here without a tie, that started with Errol Kova
Yeah?
a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
You see me in a jeans and not a jacket, but it's got a mental thing because if I got my jacket on, I'm gonna take it politely. If I don't, I'm up. However, look at this. We have one common goal. And I came from the Fintech Association from Curacao, and I invite, because so far in the survey of the Central Bank of St. Maarten and Curacao, there are 4 Fintech companies, and one might be even CXPay, that are active. I invite the ones of St. Maarten. We need to find a way to then join the ones of Curacao, because in our bylaws, we have virtual meetings. They can join the Curacao Association. We'll tweak our bylaws, where then we can call it one, because we have the same central bank, we have the same currency, so why can't we have a collaboration front and help each other out? Because most of the fintechs in Curacao have business in St. Maarten. Some have more than in Curacao even. So I invite, I implore, again, I keep talking nicely and I keep saying collaboration. I'm the one getting the first smack, but again, we're here and I discussed this with the chairman. We are up for helping St. Maarten with the few or with the more. We reset our bylaws and we make it one for both islands. Because when we're on the committee of the National Payments Council, the CFA has 2 seats on the committee. We're discussing you and us. Us. So let's keep it us. Trust me. Excuse my French. Shit doesn't happen only here. It happens everywhere. He can contest for that. It's the same everywhere. Collaboration will determine how far we can get. Sorry, more than 20 seconds.
Go ahead, Mark.
I do want to stress actually what Mr. Levy Maduro is saying, where the answers are all in this room. And you all are looking towards the people on stage to solve the problems. Whereas I think what really needs to be done is, if you look at every successful technology company that are billion-dollar valuated companies, Facebook, Amazon, Alibaba, they have one thing in common, I find, across all of these organizations, is customer first, users first. And what I think could be learned from that is public organizations start to turn more to their citizens and get the data from their citizens in more forums, like gentleman over here said, go to the community centers. These forums cost a lot of money for the chambers of commerce. I think they can be fractionalized a little bit, and you can meet people where they're at a little more, because that is what's going to turn this entire country into a successful country, is if you just turn towards getting data from your citizens and the users of your platforms. And also those companies, successful companies, have great marketing campaigns.
I appreciate that you, oh, Mr. Maduro.
Thank you. Couple of seconds.
You have 10 seconds.
David mentioned the National Payment Council meeting next week, December 3rd.
Wait, hold on. Your mic is not on. Can we exchange your mic with someone else, or? Well,
Next week, December 3rd, we have the next National Payment Council meeting. The National Payment Council is a platform where we invite, the central bank invite all stakeholders on the payments landscape, the providers, the consumers, big users, government, utility companies, fintech organization, to come together to discuss solutions or things that are that we would like to solve on the payment landscape. So the invitations went out. Please attend, and there is a point of the agenda, other topics. You're free to come with your topics to discuss that next week. Thank you.
thank you so much. I appreciate also the central bank being so forward-thinking, setting up the National Payment Council, having an innovation office. But also what I wanted to highlight was that after lunch, we talked very much about collaboration. And yes, it's been a lot of talking this morning. But after lunch, we're going to do some doing. We're going to answer some questions and really do a deep dive and collaborate and get cross ideas, because that's the reason why we have entrepreneurs in the room and we have some of the island's best in the room. That's the reason why we have bankers in the room. That's why we have impact community leaders in the room. And it's because we want to be able to support each other, but also collaborate with each other and do some deep dives. So after lunch, we will be doing so. Makisha Brooks has the last question before we break for lunch.
Thank you, Ife.
And she's also from the Maarten Development Fund, just in case not everyone knows who you are in the room.
Hi, thank you, Ife. I think, well, firstly, I want to say that I'm pleased with David's last comments as well as Mr. Maduro's, because firstly, I want to commend you for expanding the FinTech Association to potentially include St. Maarten, because you are right. The implications and discussions in Curacao are impactful to St. Maarten, which brings me to my question to the central bank. There was a FinTech conference recently held in Curacao, hosted by the central bank. So my question is, how is the central bank expanding these discussions to St. Maarten? Because very often, these large-scale discussions are held in Curacao and are pretty much available to the Curacao population. And if the discussion is to represent two islands, we understand that there's water and geography. But how are you all using technology to include the St. Maarten audience in these high-level discussions? So that's my first part of my question.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I've heard this concern this morning as well about the FinTech conference last week. I'm not part of the team that was working on it, but I can assure you for next year, we will have a live streaming also for others in St. Maarten to be able to attend. It was an in-person invitation this time, but when we talk about innovation, about technology, you cannot do it without live streaming. So I will going back to my colleagues at the central bank and then inform them that this is a must. Thank you.
Thank you.
If I can add to that, we have a lot of conferences in Maarten in Curacao, sorry to say, but it is the intention that some of the conferences, albeit in a smaller scale, will also be held here. So that is the thought of to alternate conferences back and forth between the islands.
Great. Ms. Brooks?
Thank you.
You
And
had
my
a
real
part two?
question,
Okay.
actually, I think, I've heard a lot of statements about volumes and that the markets are relatively small. But to get to the volumes that you aspire to, you must start somewhere. So to Mark's point about sandboxing, and I pose this question to all of you, considering the fact that the goal is not to stay where we are, but to grow beyond where we are, how can we create the foundation to at least pilot some of the opportunities that can exist? And I would love to hear Mark's perspective on this, and then to hear what your entities are going to do to facilitate this pilot or sandbox in reality, so that these businesses can actually grow to their highest potentials.
Yeah, great question. I think that's this service package that Ms. President Peggy mentioned is a great start for small businesses in a number of ways. I think the Chamber of Commerce could collaborate with the central bank and banks and other organizations to offer things like, oh, here's a great legal investment framework that will have your company be able to be confident to raise funds from investors, and investors be confident that I'm protected in investing in you. So the service package could have what services are available to you. And within that, I mentioned it on stage in terms of what I think governments, banks, and central banks could do in terms of a sandbox is exactly what you said. Let's get anecdotal evidence, practical evidence from implementing the solution before we even decide to regulate it, because again, you're gonna get user feedback from your citizens on exactly what the solution is you're trying to implement, so that you can then inform your own regulations to fit the needs of your citizens, because you're experimenting, you're theorizing, you're learning as you go, rather than theorizing a framework based on what is not tied to direct data to inform policy, which you'll then have to revise, and we all know how expensive and long that takes to then reiterate on the regulations. I'm not throwing shade at anyone, I'm just trying to state an opinion. But in terms of my organization as well, how we aim to, and I'm sure this might be shared with Mr. David Levy-Maduro, is that our goal is to collaborate with the bank, and it's why I said what I said before, is that as a company, we're focused on the underserved, we're focused on a market that we have less overheads and we have more automated processes to meet the needs of individuals, so that we can take the risk on smaller organizations, because we can react quicker, because our customer service is automated, we have AI agents that take care of people, our AML CFT is fully automated, we have our dashboards pick up things before we could quickly react to it, and within that whole process just means for our end user is that they can come onto our system, use it, and then empower themselves, make payments with individuals early on as a business. As soon as they register their company, they can get an account with us and transact digitally. And then if they become successful, great. We can then offer that business who has their financials all digitized, export it, send it over to the bank and be like, hey, here's my financials, offer me a loan. So that's where the partnership with the fintech is great for the bank, because we now have taken the risk on a customer, been like, hey, this is good data on a business that you could then provide services for, which we're not licensed to do. And then we pass it over to the bank now, because the bank's responsibility is to do X, Y, Z. So I think that's the role of fintechs, is to meet the customers where they're at now. And I think that's why it's so important for financial inclusion. And I believe, yeah, that is majority of things I can say on the topic you just said.
That's exactly what we're doing. We're building a history, and then that, when it comes to the bank has that history from a trusted party, and that's priceless. That's how we get fees down, by the way, Jennifer. When you have history, there's no chargebacks. You see volume, you see how it is, you see the transactions going up. That's how it is. That's how we fintechs try to help you too. But you gotta get in, correct.
So, this was a wonderful panel discussion. Please give all of them a round of applause. We have tokens of appreciation for them, because we know that some people may have to leave during lunch, as there is a funeral this afternoon. And so we just have tokens of appreciation for all of them. And we have Takia, who is, we start here with the minister, Takia. So wait, hold on, excuse, 1 second, we got the picture. Good, awesome. Thank you so much, Minister, for that. Lanisha, for Mr. Maduro, thank you so much. take a quick picture. Oh, wait, hold on, I gotta get in here. I'm just gonna make my way down. And then we have for Miss Solange, thank you so much. It's fine. Okay. Yes. We have board members also helping. David, where are you going?
Making this shot for you.
No, you have one as well. Right here.
Thank you.
Yeah. And we have another one for Mark. Yes, this one. And then the president has a special token of appreciation. And so I'm inviting the president to give a special token of appreciation to Mark.
Why can't do everything at the same time?
Okay, well, let me hold this.
Okay, open it. So everyone, I was at a conference in Antigua, a SITS conference, where I saw this young gentleman take the stage. And I was like, what is it that he could come and add to this conversation? Because he came just like this, and he sat down, and everybody was highty-tighty in the suits and everything. And here he was just, and he sat down. And when he started to speak, and he broke down the exact thing that Ife and Jennifer were trying to explain to me for months, I was like, okay, this is the guy for Ife and Jennifer for their session. And that's why, Mark, I'm extremely, extremely happy and honored that you accepted our invitation to come to our beautiful island. As I said before, this is the beginning of a long-standing relationship. We're not just going to let you go. And on behalf of the chamber, we have something for you. Oh God, I ain't got my glasses on. Award of appreciation presented to Mark Pereira. You read the rest, man.
Thank you so much. Well, first, before I read it out, I'll say an invitation to come to St. Maarten is a hard thing to turn down. First time, I didn't know what I was in for, and I'm even more elated that I came because I did not know this is what you had to offer as a country. This is one of the best places in the Caribbean, and I told that to someone last night. So you can check my WhatsApp, but I really mean it. And this award of appreciation is for making an indelible mark as the distinguished speaker at the inaugural Unlock Global Payments Conference hosted by the St. Maarten Chamber of Commerce and Industry, which is an incredibly innovative organization in St. Maarten and has some of the best people working here. We extend our sincere gratitude for your insightful and impactful presentation, which captivated the audience and enriched the knowledge of all attendees on this day, November 29, 2024. And is this the first award I've ever received on the stage? I think it is. So again, thank you guys so much.
There you go, Mark.
Amazing.
Thank you all. Let's do one group picture, and then we will go ahead and break for lunch. Everybody's on stage. Madam President? Yes. You're on stage. Jennifer, Anuska, these are board members. Anuska Friday? Yeah, come. Come. Mr. Houston, sorry. I want to make sure that the chamber, these are the people that have Mr. Ming as well.
Come, Mr. Ming. Without you, it wasn't possible neither.
True. These are my colleagues and incredible support to ensure that Unlock Global Payments took place, so I want to ensure that they are also honored in this picture. Okay, everyone's in here? Okay, we got to go over. The media guy is telling me to go over, go over, go over, go over, go over.
Don't let us fall off the stage.
No, we're okay.
Yeah?
Alvin with the big camera. Thank you so much, and enjoy your lunch. We will be back in about 40 minutes. Thank you. Our team will be serving, of course, the panelists and our national leaders first. They're going to escort you to your tables, and thereafter, the rest of the tables will follow for lunch. Thank you so much.
Before the beat, Carviem, Kenya Maraboy. Aneski, Anaskia.